friends, and you are our friends. Welcome back to Trekking the Future, the season one finale of
Season
Trekking the
one
Future.
finale. I pressed record slightly late there. My fault, but we're here. It's
I
being
give you the
recorded.
credit. And as always, I'm joined by Lord Justin Belanger of the Principality of Sealand.
The flag's up there. It's too high for me to reach right now. Did a little redecorating.
I see. Um, yeah, and I really enjoyed this this film. Or I didn't really enjoy this film. Actually, it was pretty kind of a slog in some places,
Mm,
but we'll talk about that here in a
yeah.
second. This is
Yes.
the season one finale of this podcast, and we're gonna continue next week with season two of Strange New Worlds, and hopefully, we could either we can get really lucky and go start the same week as uh season three of Strange New
Yeah.
Worlds
It's
as the same
possibly
time
lining
as
up that way. Yeah.
hopefully, I'll even like take a break just to match it up for a week or whatever if it ends up going that direction. But I'm hoping it doesn't go the other one where we're late.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, it's whatever to me.
But yeah, it's so we watched the motion picture. We'll talk about that in a bit, but that's the one we watched. That was the poll was a tie, so we did a coin flip last week, and Star Trek the motion picture won, which apparently it was like the director's cut or something on Paramount Plus, like I
Yeah.
mentioned. So we watched that, which I feel like all the director's cut was like an extra 5 minutes of looking at stars.
No, I think it was better. Better. What's the word? The film looked better. There was
Mm,
better special effects.
mm. It was a
From
couple
what I've
minutes longer,
seen,
apparently. A couple minutes longer than the
yeah, it was a
regular.
little bit longer. Like they added little things like you heard us saying. I think her it was added in that she said, "Hey, our chances might have been doubled because
Mm,
Kirk is here." I think that's
mm,
added from the director's cut.
yeah. I just know the first like 6 minutes were just stars, just floating
Well,
in the stars.
let's talk about the film. Since we're close enough to our
Yeah, we're
on our format
right there.
here.
Yeah.
So that's something that used to be done a lot, an overture for a film, and this is one of the last films to have an overture.
Mm.
I think around the same time the Black Hole came out. So for epic films, they play an overture for a few minutes just to signify like, oh, this is supposed to be an epic film. And
Okay.
um, for this film, like I feel like they were trying to go for that, especially with the special effects, and um, I felt like they didn't accomplish what they were going for.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it felt like the first 20 minutes could have been like 5 minutes.
the The thing is too, this film originally was supposed to be a TV show, like the
Yeah.
pilot for
Hmm.
Star Trek Phase 2. But
Oh.
I mean, like they decided let's make this into a film, and it does sort of seem like I've heard people say it feels like there's 40 minutes worth of story. A whole bunch of
One thing, real
um
quick, one thing I want to get out of the way here. Um, if there's any like teariness coming from my eyes, don't worry, I'm not crying. I just got contacts for the first time. I got them yesterday, so still getting used to them.
he's
Taking a
lying, like he watched the films just recently.
I
He's like, "Oh,
didn't watch it
Decker."
today. It took me 40 minutes roughly this morning to get them in, so
Oh,
it's a bit
I
of an effort.
yeah, I haven't really quick yeah, that I don't know, the idea of contacts freaks me out. Like I like my glasses.
Yeah, I've tried glasses. They always bother me. It's possibly an autism thing with like just I don't know. I'm always very aware that they're on my face. You know, like just bothers me. With these, it's like it's not too bad when they're actually in. The issue is just getting them in, and taking them out is surprisingly more difficult than I anticipated. But yeah, so just wanted that to be known. Um, yeah, as for the movie, so I did like it. I didn't love
Yeah,
it. I definitely didn't think it was as good as Strange New Worlds. But there were things I liked about it. It just definitely felt longer than it needed to be.
and watching it and talking about the epic feel they're going for when they're entering Vidger.
Mm.
And it seemed like with all the special effects, they're trying to go for like that sequence in 2001: A Space Odyssey,
Mm.
where enters in the monolith, and there's these crazy visuals. Like that's what it felt. That's what that reminded me of, and I
Mm.
just felt like didn't quite feel the same. And
Mm.
um, you know,
It's
I don't know why. Like maybe just getting all these reactions and the
yeah,
fact that it wasn't fully. We didn't see the full screen of it, and I understand
yeah,
why they're going for like, oh, here's how these guys experience it.
yeah.
Um,
It's actually so I gave it a 6.3 out of 10, which is I liked it. Um,
I give it a 6.
that is my lowest grade of any 1979 film that I've seen. I've only seen five after this. So, can you guess what the other four are in the order that they are? 1979.
Moonraker, um, Black Hole came out that year. Alien,
Aliens
um,
on there.
um, Annie Hall was earlier. Kramer versus Kramer came out that year.
I'll,
What
gi-
I think that won the Academy Award.
mm, I'll give you some
Um,
hints for the other ones. One of them I watched last October in anticipation of a new film that
right,
came out in December. That was a remake.
was it Invasion of the Body Snatchers? Or I thought
I
that came out earlier.
I just watched that like a couple
Yeah,
weeks ago.
yeah.
Yeah. It was a
I
film
don't.
that just came out this last December. That was the remake, uh, and
Um,
it was made by Robert Eggers, I think his name is. The remake that is. I watched the 1979 version, but there was also a version from like 1929 or so, maybe 1930, and
like
it's
can't be
horror based
Scarface.
on this. Not Scarface. No, there is a horror movie. That's why I watched it in October.
Frankenstein or Dracula.
Very
Um,
close with that second one. There
Nosferatu.
you go. That's Ratu the
Uh,
Vampire, the 1979 version. That's number three out of the five. Where do you think Alien is ranked here out of these five?
I mean that would have to be number one, right?
It is number one. The other two, one of the other two is a horror film. The other one is not a horror film. Uh, and the one that is a horror film even has horror right there in the title.
Oh, the Rocky. No, Rocky Horror Picture Show came out earlier.
Mm.
19 like
1979.
1979. You
Yeah.
didn't watch Moonraker.
Nope.
Like, I like Moonraker more than this film.
It's there's a part in the movie where a window shuts on a kid's fingers.
Oh, hmm. It's not the Omen. I mean,
Mm.
and that didn't even happen in that film.
I actually, because I apparently watched this when I was really young, but I didn't really remember most of it. But I remembered that. I remembered the finger part. But I watched it again recently.
Hmm. I'm not sure.
That one is the Amityville Horror.
Oh, that came out in '79.
Yeah, and that's number four. So number two, my number two movie of the five that I've seen from '79 is it's part of a franchise, and it's not a horror movie because I mentioned. So part of a franchise, not a
Franchise
horror movie.
'79. Like,
It's my
I don't know. I
mom.
can't.
My mom was a big fan of it because it takes place where she was born.
I don't know. What is it?
Well, she was born in Philly.
Like Rocky 3? No, Rocky 2.
Rocky Two, that's the one.
Rocky 2.
Rocky
Where he
Two.
the rematch between him and Apollo.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's Alien number one, Rocky two number two, Nosferatu number three, The Amityville Horror number four, and now Star Trek: The Motion Picture number five.
And at the bottom of that list, unfortunately, I gotta say, I was on my second viewing kind of sad uh,
Mm.
after watching Strange New Worlds, and
Yeah.
then in this film, Spock comes back and in poor Nurse Chapel, like she looks kind of sad. Just well, she's there with Kirk and McCoy,
Yeah.
and Spock's back, and she's just like, everyone's like, "Hey, welcome back, Spock," and he's just like, he's being Spock, and I mean, she looks so sad that he doesn't react to her at all. I mean, of course, there was some romantic feelings, and
Mm.
I I don't even think Chapel was meant to be in this film,
Mm.
from what I read. The actress who plays her was Gene Roddenberry's wife,
Mm.
and he wanted her to play a different character, and she went against that. Like, I think it was nicer to have Nurse Chapel or an MD now.
Mm.
It was nicer to have her back than I don't know about this other character. Obviously, we haven't gone through the original series or the animated series. Um, and it was kind of lame watching Strange New Worlds, watching this film, and poor Doctor Chapel who gets kicked off her position. I mean,
Mm.
the thing is, like, I gotta think about watching this film. I was thinking about the context of it,
Yeah.
like it's been what 5 years since the animated series came out, so it
Mm.
felt like the bigness they were going for sort of makes sense because it's like, oh, Star Trek's back, it's back.
Yeah.
I mean, now we get Star Trek all the time, and
Yeah.
we have Paramount Plus. They didn't even have
Yeah.
like
Not only
there
was
was
it like
BC.
Star Trek's back, it was also like this is the first movie for Star Trek, first like big motion picture event.
Yep, and I think if what the way however you considered it in the what's that book the world record one. I can't remember. This film had the largest budget of any film in history
Mm.
when it was
Oh.
made,
Mm.
except for I guess Superman. Though they shot Superman 1 and 2 together, so both of those films had
Mm.
a high budget because of that.
Let's see.
And if you split it in half, the
Yeah.
way they did, they can say, "Oh, well, it's the highest ever." I mean, that makes sense too, but
Let's see.
as a single film or
Looking at what
whatever,
now is the most expensive film. Apparently, The Force Awakens is the most expensive film of all time now, even adjusted for
oh,
inflation. So,
ah,
yeah,
another science fiction film.
yeah, they do cost money. That's let's see. The adjusted for inflation cost is $593 million. That is
So
a lot of money, but it did bring in a lot of
yeah,
money. So,
I have to say, my favorite part of the film is when after Ilea gets taken over, or not taken over. There's the new Vidger probe Ilea, and
yeah.
when she's tired of waiting for those guys, it's like she just punches through the torque.
Yeah.
I did enjoy that.
That was fun.
Um, and yeah, it's kind of tough to. I mean, I haven't seen all the films, but you know,
Mm.
going into this podcast, I jokingly say, I love Star Trek. I love Wrath of Khan, and I knew Decker and Ilea weren't in the Wrath of Khan, so they didn't quite have the plot armor.
Mm.
It's pretty. I know Spock did, but it was pretty badass that he went into a spacesuit and went to go mind meld a Vidger.
Yeah, that was cool.
I, you know, we got a minute left. I just wanted to say the Voyager thing. I know Neil deGrasse Tyson mentioned this. That's what I remember about like hearing people talk about this film. Like it's kind of stupid.
Mm.
Like, the all-knowing AI entity doesn't like can't it could read but not over the dirt on it. I, I
Yeah.
don't know. It's
Mm.
but yeah. Overall decent film.
Yeah.
And
I get the feeling
but
it's
well,
not going to be our favorite Star Trek film.
it's probably better than some of them.
The one that came out this year apparently was not very well received, but
Yeah,
most of
I
them.
know Robert didn't like it.
Hmm.
So, typically, uh, this time of the day, I like to
Yes.
get a caffeine hit, but
Hit a caffeine.
I'm doing something different just for you guys. I
Just
don't normally have electrolytes, and only when I'm working, building up a sweat.
mm-hmm.
I don't try to just drink Gatorade
Yeah.
or a Powerade just
Mm.
randomly. I
Yeah.
think of it as like I'm doing a workout or a workout. Like I'm sweating, so I need
Mm.
some electrolytes. The things plants crave. Talking about films, but I ran out of what I was using before,
Yeah.
and I figured before I was getting these for Dubby, I
Yeah.
got a hydro here,
There you go. There you go.
watermelon
There you go.
flavor. Well,
Hydro.
watermelon, yeah, watermelon lemonade,
Watermelon lemonade. Sounds tasty.
and it's very tasty.
Mm.
I'll say that. And this is not like what I've drank every other episode
Yeah.
of this podcast. It doesn't have caffeine in it. It's just got electrolytes. Like here's what it says here on the tub.
Yeah.
W Hydro is our new hydration formula.
On the WW.
We've added just the right amount of electrolytes without compromising the taste so that you can drink this any time of the day and actually enjoy it.
Mm.
No caffeine.
There you go.
And the suggested, it's just suggested you have one of these a day.
Yeah. One a day. That's plenty of that to have over the course. It's like it's a 30 servings,
Yeah.
30 days,
And
30 days worth of drink.
I saved
Electrolytes.
a couple bucks when I bought this.
How exactly did you go about doing that?
I was hoping you'd tell the people. But
Oh, you
see, what
mean
I did was I went to w.gg and I
mm,
thought, oh, type in hydro, and when I go to checkout, I use shop, and I just put in the discount code Gopher Tuck, not Gopher and Tuck,
go
just
for
Gopher Tuck, and it gives you 10% off your products,
yeah?
your
And if
W product.
those watching the stream right now, you can see an alternate way to do that. You can click that link right there. It automatically applies the code. That link is also in the description if you're watching this on YouTube. Just
I think
automatically
that's where
applies it. 10% off. Good to go.
absolutely W.gg.
GG. Like Giggity Gopher. Yeah.
I didn't think about that,
Yeah.
but I do like that. Um, it's time for your favorite game,
Mm.
Star Trek trivia.
Yeah, all right. What's so every week for season 1 we did this thing. It's 3 questions about Star Trek. I'm not very good at them, but if I get 2 right, I win. If I get 2 wrong, I lose. And each week there's something I gotta do if I lose, something I get if I win. What is it for this week?
If you win, you get to let's see. Let's think about. All right, if you win, you get to shake Elon Musk's hand. How about that?
All right.
Like, like one's the president, the other one's a fake gamer. No.
So I get to shake their hand.
Yeah.
All right, but when I'm doing that, can I have that like that thing in my hand where they shake and then it like jolts them with electricity and they get scared?
Oh, I got one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'll use that. Okay, cool. What happens if I lose?
Oh, if you lose, we'll shoot you off into space.
Okay,
You know,
alright.
Elon Musk's got that technology.
Yeah, so I can explode half the way there. Cool.
Yeah. All right. All right. First question:
Yes.
what Star Trek series would use the opening theme from this film, the original or the motion picture?
Hmm. So it uses the same opening theme that the movie has.
Yeah.
See, I would assume just like the original series, but then like the way you word it makes it sound like it's something that came
Uh.
after the movie.
Yeah.
Uh,
They're all the themes are different.
hmm. Next generation.
You got it.
Hey, I got a point.
I bet you just thought, all right, what's the series that comes out?
Pretty much, yes.
All right. Star Trek: The Motion Picture was directed by Robert Wise. Which film of his appears in the Star Trek episode Strange New Worlds?
Crap, we watched that. We specifically talked about that. But my my dang brain can't remember anything.
Brain.
But I remember us specifically talking about exactly that. Oh god, and I don't remember any of the movies he made, even though I looked up at a list of the movies for like 10 minutes and while we were doing this podcast. Oh god. Uh,
I remember. I remember Star Trek. He made that.
I'm uh, Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
The day the Earth stood still.
Mm, mm,
So one right,
yeah,
one wrong. You
yeah.
still have a chance to win.
My brain worked right. That would have been a correct one, but it does not.
Yeah. All right. Star Trek: The Motion Picture went from a two-part television pilot to a feature film because of what hit sci-fi film?
Ooh, Star Wars.
Hey, you got it.
Hey, all right. I
Hey,
get to shock Elon and Donald Trump with the little handshake thing. There we go.
yeah.
Not getting
I bet
shot
you
off into space this time.
not this time.
Not today,
All right.
Satan.
Yeah. All right. So something I wanted to talk about with you is AI and consciousness. I recall a couple years ago when ChatGPT came out, and one of
Yep.
the people who made it said, "Oh, it's a sentient person."
Mm.
I didn't quite believe that,
Yeah.
but I know a lot of people on the interwebs were like, "Oh man, AI is really conscious." I mean, what do you think? Like, what do you
I
talk
mean,
to
we have
Copilot,
we have the I forgot Grok. Is that the
the
like the
Twitter one?
Twitter one? Yeah, because that one it's a Twitter one. It's owned by Elon Musk, but then people ask questions about Elon Musk, and I'll be like, yeah, that guy sucks.
Well, it's like one of those disobedient children, or
Much like all of his other children, it hates him. Mm.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Do you think AI will ever become conscious, or like I know this is something that came up in Star Trek too.
Mm.
Like, well,
I think
like not what's that?
technically, I don't think it technically will ever become conscious. Like I don't think, but I think like it might reach a point where it simulates consciousness well enough that you can't really tell the difference, even though it's technically not.
Hmm,
But
I
also, I
see.
mean, artificial intelligence can't draw a hand with 5 fingers, so who knows?
Well, it always gets better and better. You know, we think about the technology they used in this film and
Mm.
the technology they used in making those plays in Greece. Like we've gone a far away.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, just I know computers. They the way they process information is very different from our brains,
Yeah.
and people, if they think right now these AI are conscious, they need to consider how their um, process of crunching data is far different from the
Yeah.
way a human brain works.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, they just and they can get stuff wrong too, just through this process being screwed up, like bad information on the internet.
Yeah.
They just take all the data they crunch it,
Like
and
there was
they
that one, like, you know how Google now has that AI that has like a summary at the top when you search stuff.
yeah,
They had one where it's like if you search like how to stop cheese from falling off pizza, the AI was like just add glue, put glue on your pizza. There you go.
there we go,
And that was just because someone made
there we
a
go,
joke post about that on Reddit, and that was it.
man. Someone must have tried it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, Google's AI told him to, so go
Hey,
for
it's
it.
I mean, it's conscious, right?
Yeah.
It knows what it's doing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah. I don't know if we'll ever accomplish that, but maybe it's possible. It's just
Maybe it's Maybelline.
like we need way more advanced technology for that. I feel it's
Yeah.
not gonna happen like on my PC. We're gonna make a conscious being. Like,
Mm.
um, our brains are still one of the most advanced computers in the world. Like, sorry, Apple
I
II.
mean, maybe not
Sorry.
my brain specifically, but in general, human brains, yes.
Well, you won trivia this week.
It's true. That is true. The one question I should have been most likely to get right, I got wrong, but I did win. So you know,
You did win.
mm,
Um, Brock, it didn't even play.
true, true.
Have you messed around with AI much at all? I've been using it. Um, I do use it. Uh, I like to play around with it.
Yeah, I've done like just sort of messing around, getting like random images of like using it for like ideas for stuff. Um,
I see.
I did a little bit because there's a writing project that I've been working on for like 3 years that I say working on, but it's like every couple of months I'll open up the document and be like, all right, I'll mess around here for a little bit. But I've used it for stuff like that where it's like just kind of trying to get like general ideas for like world building and stuff of that nature. But I've also just like messed around and tried to have like conversations, see how far a conversation can go with one of those about just random stuff, um, and then done like the image generation for like random meme esque images, and yeah,
Yeah. You seen the like Discord has its that sort of AI bot that makes
yeah.
images, and you seen what I did with it, making those Burger Smurf ones.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I would just use it for
Um,
stuff like just a picture of a cat beating up Donald Trump with kung fu, stuff of that nature.
my favorite one was my. Now I think about that, I'm glad you brought this up. Was the Gopher and Tuck images? Like those
Mm.
were interesting.
I really like that one. I don't remember what it's like. It's like a big black guy, like a big topless black guy, really fat, who's just like punching something. I can't remember what it was. That's like one of my favorite random AI memery images. What was it? Is it an
But
alligator? Let me see. Let me see if I can find it.
man,
Oh yeah, yeah, there
um,
it is. They do a bunch of. Let's see if I can get if people watching can see that, but yeah, just it's just like a fat black man in his underwear fighting an alligator. That's it. That's the whole shtick. Usually there's
I
pizza
love
involved. Like they're fighting over pizza.
it. And all the AI just decided like, "Oh, I'm just gonna make this." It was inspired through
Yeah.
memory.
Mm.
Well, speaking of AI, that's being talked about a lot by Mark Hewitt
Hmm.
with whatever organization he's in. But I don't know if this will be talked about
Yep.
during the seventh annual Regenerative Planet Summit. Um, Earth
Seventh
Day's
annual.
coming up.
It is.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
It's on the
Earth Day.
22nd.
Yep, April 22nd.
I will be
Uh,
celebrating Earth Day in a very appropriate way that it absolutely has to do with Earth Day and it's not completely unrelated by going to the movies and watching Sinners.
yeah, yeah. Um,
It happens to
yeah,
be on a
Earth Day.
Tuesday because that's they have discounted movies on Tuesdays. So there you go.
Well, yeah, and yeah, Earth Day's almost in shambles here in Kotzebue. I
Mm.
got the news that the Heritage Center can't do our art competition and they can't do our film.
Mm.
There's a silver lining, of course, in that we can find a place with good internet
Yeah.
and watch that PBS documentary
Mm.
on climate devastation that has drone footage of the storm that happened up here in Kotzebue back in October.
Mm.
I did want to catch that, and this thing we were doing, the thing we were doing that was happening at the same time, but
Yeah.
it's canceled now. But
Mm.
unfortunately, that just means more work of figuring out
Yeah.
what venue we can use.
Mm.
Uh, but uh, there's things to look forward to. FBX is gonna have a recycling bin. I'm gonna take my cans over, like all my beers, and throw them in there.
Yeah.
And that's we're gonna get that next week. And we're going to find areas to distribute yellow bags. Of course, Dustin doesn't know what that is, but that's used for spring cleanup.
Mm.
You get these bags, you fill them up with trash, you get outside, and you bring them over to the city or Lions Club, and they'll give you $2 for each bag you fill up,
Mm.
and you're entered into a raffle.
Ooh.
I don't know what prizes they'll have. What I recall in the past is kids winning bikes.
Mm.
Pretty cool. I
There
could
you
use a
go.
bike right.
Yeah. I don't even know how to ride a bike.
It's not too hard, but
Mm.
for the Alliance for Knowledge and sorry, I almost said it backwards. For the Alliance for Reason and Knowledge,
Yeah.
you can visit them at a-r-k.us, and for information specific to what's going on Earth Day, you could go to do a slash RPS for Regenerative Planet Summit
Yeah.
25. So
You could even
thank you
Google
to
Earth
the
Day
page.
and then just see what wacky stuff the AI comes up with.
Uh, or you could ask ChatGPT what's going
True.
on.
Yeah.
It's conscious, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, actually, you know, maybe we should ask ChatGPT. I'll do it right now. I got it
Yeah.
open. Do you prefer Captain Kirk or Captain Pike?
I know the age-old one is always Kirk or Picard. But we know Pike.
Yeah, it's searching.
It's searching. It's thinking. It's really putting on its thinking cap.
To what you said, that's a classic debate. Both Captain Kirk and Captain Pike bring unique strengths to the captain's chair. Um, it didn't pick one. But
Coward.
coward. It is
Coward.
cowardly.
Coward.
Coward.
I'd pick Pike
Um,
at the moment. Because again, we spend more time with him, we know him more. Maybe after I watch the original series, who knows. But, I mean, I liked Pike a lot. I was a big fan of Pike, and I liked Kirk in what I saw of him so far. Um, I don't like people. I've seen a lot of like parodies of William Shatner's acting style as Kirk, that led me to
yeah, his
believe
acting style.
like that led me to believe that like he was gonna be pretty bad. But I thought he did well in the movie at least. I mean all I've seen so far of him. Uh, I did see, I emphasize see, him doing the Khan line in the Wrath of Khan, but I didn't hear
Oh,
it because in Family Guy, there it is, they had a bit where it was like the Wrath of Khan edited for goats. And so it was just that scene, like just actually showing that scene in live action, but instead of him shouting Khan, it just dubs over a goat noise when he did it. So, mm,
um, same as you. I prefer Pike though. I'm glad we brought this up to continue speaking about the film.
yeah.
I thought it was interesting that not to get too conspiratorial, but it's strange. Another strange thing about this film is there's only one star fleet ship at Earth that can go take care of this this entity, Vidger. Um,
Mm.
yeah, it seems kind of strange, and I don't know. Like Kirk's the admiral, so he seems like he would have authority over that. So it
Yeah.
almost seems like he set things up so that I can take over the Starship Enterprise again and save the day, or not even think saving the day was his motivation. I think saving the day was like sort of his reason or like excuse to once again become captain of a
Nah.
Starfleet ship.
Yeah. I can see that.
I mean, it, it was interesting to see Kirk you know and we sort of seen this in the last episode of season one of Strange New Worlds. He
Yep.
sort of let's do this thing, and sort of bending rules to accomplish things.
Yeah.
As we see here, it's not always the best thing. Thankfully, Decker is around that
Mm.
he could he knows what's new about the ship, so he could act
Mm.
proper.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that Kirk, once he sees that he's wrong, he's,
Mm.
oh, great job.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the right thing, right way to respond to
Yeah.
things. So I mean, I don't totally dislike the character of Kirk,
Yeah.
but you know, and it is good that they show some flaws in him.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we see his flaws, perhaps too empathetic at times, to where that can get in the way, and I've experienced that as well.
Mm.
Um, so I think Star Trek, even if we didn't exactly like this film, there's strong characters, and
Yeah.
thankfully, seems like William Shatner made sure like this is how the way Kirk would act,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Kirk when we eventually get to other stuff from his
like
time.
T.J. Hooker,
Yes.
or hooking with T.J. um, all right, something I want to talk about is transcendence, the search for identity. I
Mm.
know you had some issues with that. Like first you're Mr. Snoopy,
Mm.
then you're Snoopy, then you were some other things. Can't recall what. There were so many names.
Mm.
Then you told people just call me Snoopy, and
Say
then
that.
you became Giggity Gopher,
Mm.
and now you're just Gopher.
Just go for. I guess at no point in my life was I ever just Justin.
Yeah,
All those other things.
I feel like you didn't want to be like Joey Legend. Just when he was in WWE and he was just Joe.
Well, I am Gopher now. Just Gopher,
But
not Giggity.
but you know, I do find the theme of transcendence or searching for identity. I did enjoy that theme of the movie, and I think about what I've been going through, I've been experiencing an existential crisis, and now I'm just trying to self overcome.
Yeah. Mm.
like I sort of feel Vidger in
Mm,
that in Spock too.
mm,
Obviously he came back when he was going through his ritual on Vulcan,
yeah,
and they're uh, like you don't belong here, like not even in a not in a mean way, just like
yeah,
you obviously have something you need to do, and it's not here on
mm,
Vulcan,
yeah.
or or where they filmed at Yellowstone. Um, how do you feel like about that idea? Well, that's a terrible way to ask that. I mean, I know you like Quagmire, so you like Gophers. So you're like Biggie Gopher. That's the thing.
I didn't even like
What?
Gophers. It was just that also starts with G. One of the alliteration.
Uh,
That was it.
I feel like what you're not saying is you wanted your character to be related to Golly Gopher from whatever film that was. You guys are just cousins or something.
He is, yeah. Well, I mean, he's my cousin, but we don't really talk too much anymore. You know, he did some stuff. I'm not really don't really want to get into any of that, but yeah, we don't really talk anymore.
I feel like you're just upset. He's working for Disney.
You know, I'd like to work for Disney personally. I mean, they're kind of bastards in some cases, but also they got a lot of money. I like money. I'm easily bought. Okay, I'm not gonna make any claims to the contrary here.
I see.
The
Not me.
the identity I'm searching for is a sellout.
Slow. Yeah, that's the thing too. I used to be all about that money, and now I got so many other things to consider, like puppy. You know.
True, true.
Yeah, like I've been saying, I've been trying to self overcome and think beyond myself and beyond my ego consciousness as myself part of the universe, time, um, this podcast. Yeah, just think beyond myself, like Vidger, um, thinking back to the film, what it sort of wanted when it returned to Earth and tried to get back with its creator,
Yeah.
and you know, I did think while we're on this topic in relation to the film, I did like thought the idea was neat. Wasn't executed perfectly, obviously.
Mm,
But it was I think it was a good idea. This film, going back to Star Trek trivia, it became a film because Star Wars was so popular and
yeah.
Paramount needed a sci-fi film that or a sci-fi series that could be made into a film, and
Hmm.
oh, we got Star Trek, we can make that into a film.
And
Um,
then that began the big old comparisons between the two, and
yeah,
and people
um,
many years later mixing the two up.
yeah, and I did appreciate that they tried to do something different that wasn't we're gonna do a Star Trek with space battles. I mean, I enjoy the Wrath of Khan, but that I don't feel like that's what Star Trek is about.
Yeah.
It happens, but you know, maybe it was too strongly in that direction. But even that I think is wrong, uh,
Mm,
because it's possible. Like I enjoy 2001: A Space Odyssey. And there's not any space battles in that. It's just um there was a whole bunch of production problems, and that probably led to the film sort of being a slog at points,
yeah.
unfortunately. And
Mm,
like interesting storyline, but unf- I like I think what I read was they do the same sort of thing next couple of films, and it's much better.
Hmm.
And of course, there's the Borg, but I don't feel like it's the same. I don't think they're. I don't know if they're looking to transcend or they're searching for identity, but
Man.
maybe.
Yeah.
Um, and talking about searching, if people are interested in what's going on with Gopher and Tuck,
Mm.
how would they figure out
Well,
what to find out what you're doing?
well, we have a Discord. And the
Yeah.
link, the link to such Discord, is right there in the chat, and also in the description of the video in there if you're watching on YouTube. But yeah, currently we still got Pokemon Gaia, Randomized Nuzlocke, that's going. Split Fiction co-op, that's happening. Finally, I've been teasing this for a couple months now. Baldur's Gate 3, their
Oh, wow.
crossplay update. Almost dropped my water bottle there. Uh,
Oh,
crossplay update comes out next Tuesday, which means myself, TJ, and Jeff can finally start our Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough, which will be my first time playing Baldur's Gate 3. They both have experience with it. I will be using a character named Kriv, who I used in an actual D&D campaign that TJ was the DM for a couple years ago. He's essentially why am I blanking on the name now? The captain from Futurama
uh,
with the skirts.
I can't remember his
Yeah,
name.
I don't know why I'm blanking on the name right now, but
I just remember his Zoidberg.
but yeah, it's basically like a dragonborn version of that guy. Essentially, there was a part in the campaign where there was a hole. He tried to put his penis in it for
Mhm.
potential dragon-related stuff. Uh, I failed the roll, so what he did was he whipped it out and then ran penis first at the hole and missed, slammed his penis into the wall, and he forgot to pull his pants back up. So he did the entire fight that happened after that with his pants down. So
That,
that character is
that's probably happened with some berserkers.
um yeah. So I made him in the game. He's already created, so I got that ready to be used. But I don't know when exactly we're gonna start because the patch comes out on Tuesday, and we usually do Tuesday. But TJ won't be available at the normal time, and neither will Jeff. So, but we might start it at some point next week. So that's finally gonna be happening. It'll be on Twitch, be live streamed, probably 2 to 3 hours each time. Uh, it'll we're gonna try to aim for Tuesdays most weeks, but I won't be available everyone. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to see Sinners on the 22nd Earth Day. Um, but yeah, we'll be doing that. It'll be my first time playing Baldur's Gate 3. And it'll be TJ, and it'll be Jeff, and it'll be me, and hopefully that's a good old situation.
Heck yeah. And there's all the backlog of
Oh,
YouTube.
and GM battle still going with TJ as
Oh,
well. But me, Brandon, TJ doing that. Me, Brandon, TJ, and Tyler Breeze, CPU
yeah.
controlled Tyler Breeze. That is going every Sunday at the normal time, noon in Central Time. And yeah.
Do you think Tyler Breeze is sentient like Witcher
Yes,
is was?
yes, yes. Because if he
Will
wasn't,
be.
he would stop being mean to me in the game.
Well, there's all that to look forward to, and of course, trekking the future will
Yes.
continue on
Yeah, continue
Gopher and
right
Tuck.
here, right now, as well as these live streams being uploaded to YouTube every this day, Saturday,
This thing
or
on this
Sunday
day.
on the occasional days when we do Sunday instead, at 2 p.m. Central Time. So if you missed it live, you can catch it then, or any point after then, because they're just on YouTube at that point. On
Well,
demand.
and of course, talking Gopher and Tuck, talking trekking the future. Season 2 of Trekking the Future, as Justin pointed out in the past, is gonna keep on rolling. We're
Keep
not
on rolling.
taking a break.
Nope.
We're gonna start it right here and right now.
Right here, right
We'll do it live.
next week.
Yeah,
Closer right now. 1 week away. Starting with Strange New Worlds Season 2. We're getting into Season 2. We're watching the first episode next week, but we also have some other plans for Season 2 of
yeah,
Trek in the Future.
yeah. New game. We're not.
Game?
We're gonna put trivia to the side. I know
Yes.
you're sad.
Yeah, I'm sad that I no longer have to suffer the various defeats I've suffered. I had to go a whole week without using the bathroom once. That was rough.
Yeah, yeah. But you're stronger for it.
My bladder has it's a very muscular bladder, which isn't a thing that should exist. So it's kind of rough.
So what we're gonna replace trivia with is Trek or not Trek.
Trek
I
or
will
not
present.
Trek?
I will present Justin with three Star Trek plots. As he mentioned, this is sort of something we did on Top of the World.
Yes.
Like,
In
he has
that,
to guess. Yeah,
I was gonna say, on top of the world, it was you would give me three headlines, and I had to guess which ones were real and which ones were fake. Similar idea here. It's
yep.
giving me Star Trek plot lines, and I gotta guess which ones are real and which ones are not real.
And to make it easy for you, the plots, if they're real, are just gonna encompass either the television shows or the movies.
Okay.
We won't get into the books, the comics, the
Yes.
fan fiction.
And this is definitely a kind of game we had to do early because, eventually we'll have seen more of the plots and I'll be like, oh yeah, that one, I remember that. Or I won't remember it. Who knows? The way my brain works, maybe I'll completely forget. So.
Hey, maybe we could do this like and keep it again and again. But that's something to look forward to, and something else new we're starting is Star Trek Book Club.
Star Trek Book Club. So we'll be I'm gonna try to read as much as I can of these, but time
Okay.
and everything. But we'll be reading a different book each week and talking about that. We actually have a list already of all the books, so we know what we're gonna be reading. They will be arriving for me a little late, so I might not be able to read too much of the first one. But again, if it gets here, it's supposed to get here on Thursday, I think you said. So I'll try.
Yeah,
If I can, I'll try to read some of that. Hopefully all of it, but try to read at least some. And yeah, we'll be taking a little time each week to talk about some Star Trek books.
yeah. And the list, I wanted to check out Star Trek Voyager. We're watching Strange New Worlds, and I've been interested in Voyager, so I figured
Mm,
I wanted to. I've been trying to look at other media. Like this season, we looked at some video games.
mm,
This time around, we're gonna look at these books, and the list of books are. I tried to follow the numbers of the pocket books we that came out,
mm.
and so like we're gonna start off in this order from first Caretaker, then The Escape, Ragnarok, Violations, Incident at Arbuk, The Murdered Son, Ghost of a Chance, Cyber Song, Bless the Beast, and for episode 10, The Garden. We won't
Garden.
do one for the season
Yeah.
finale, but
And an incident at Arbok has nothing to do with the Pokemon Arbok, which is Cobra
yeah,
backwards. So nothing to do with that. Speaking of Star Trek video games, as you mentioned, that you were talking about some of those, I'll be handling a little bit of that in the finale for season 2.
yep.
I will be we'll be doing a live stream of Star
We'll do it
Trek
live.
Prodigy Supernova. I've never
Yeah,
played it. I'm not even sure what it is beyond being a Star Trek game, but I'll be playing that live. It'll be a bit different because it'll be a gaming video.
yeah,
Live stream. It'll be uploaded to YouTube as well. It'll be longer, most likely. Not just an hour. I don't know if I'll play the entire game, but I'll play some of it. How long to beat has it at about 6.5 hours, so I probably won't do quite that much. But we'll
yeah,
see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so something a little different there for the finale next season.
absolutely. And with book club, I feel like I just wanted to mention to everyone that it's kind of hard to get these books. I had to get them on eBay, though. Um, it's cheaper than buying some of these on Kindle or
Yeah.
Playbooks is the app I use. Yeah, I bought Caretaker for $9, just about 8.90 or something like that.
Yeah.
But the next book, Endgame, or not Endgame,
Escape.
the
The
Escape.
Escape.
Endgame's another book in the series, but we're not reading that one. Um, yeah, I was only able to find it on one of these apps in German.
Mm.
So yeah, that's when I figured, oh, okay, I'm just gonna have to go to eBay. And part of the reason we're doing it is, just uh, as reviewing it, like, should you go through this hassle of having physical media, going searching for these things? Is it worth it? And we'll give you our thoughts as we do this podcast. S- sorry, sorry. And and the reason I figured, oh, Star Trek Prodigy would be a Supernova would be a great game to play for the season finale is Janeway appears as a Captain Janeway, who's the captain in Voyager, appears as a
Mm.
hologram in that series Prodigy. And obviously she's a character in the game, so I figured,
Yeah.
well, that's a great tie-in right there. You could
Mm.
hear us talk about her, and then you can see her.
Yeah. That's like two different versions of her, right there. Two different ways
Yeah,
to experience her.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
And hopefully, as I said earlier, our show matches season 3 matches with the Strange New Worlds season 3. But
That'd be cool. That would be cool.
fingers crossed.
Yeah. It comes out this summer. Our season 3 of Trek in the Future will also be this summer. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
All right. And yeah, I thought the film was decent.
Yeah.
I, although not as bad as William Shatner and all the other actors thought, but
Yeah.
Shatner, after he saw that film for himself, he said, "Well, that was a good run for Star Trek. It's over now, but it's still
And look
going
at us
strong."
now. We're
Look at us.
20, 46 years later, I believe. Still,
Yeah,
still going strong.
yep. And this podcast will continue to go s- will go strong as well, or well, as strong as it's going.
It'll go. It'll certainly go.
It'll go. Yeah, we'll continue to be on Twitch around the same time. Well, around the same time. I say around the same time because maybe for the season 2 finale, we might do it later or
Yeah.
something, just to give Justin time to eat. Because um,
Be a bit
one
longer than
hour,
normal.
you know, I don't know how much long you would want to play the game, but I figure at least 2 or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Usually do a gaming stream. It's at least 2 hours,
Yeah,
and we can get you in the little box on the bottom left corner for that. In the usual
yeah,
tuck
yeah.
box. Hmm.
Be a far different episode of Trick in the Future, which I really find interesting.
Yeah, yeah. You get the normal Gopher and Tuck Twitch layout for that one.
And I'm looking forward to getting back to Strange New Worlds.
Same.
I'll watch. I'm gonna watch the next episode tonight.
I will likely watch it on Friday. That's what I've been doing, either Friday or Saturday morning. I'm looking forward to it. I've been enjoying Strange New Worlds very much. The first season was great. I'm looking forward to the second season. I'm really looking forward to the third season, because of that murder mystery episode they teased. So really, really, I just downloaded all of the, well, not all of, but many of the Agatha Christie books recently. So
Ah,
been wanting to get into those for a while. So
oh boy. Well,
do you like more
guys,
mysteries?
thanks, yep, guys, thanks for joining us. This has been a great episode of Trek in the Future, and looking forward to season 2.
Next week.
next week.
Next Saturday.
Long live and prosper.
Yes. Do all of that. And we'll see you next week.